Have you ever noticed differences in the way the people around you communicate? Maybe you feel certain people don't welcome a face-to-face chat. Maybe some people take a long time to respond to a text. Of course, people have always communicated in different ways. But over the last 40 years, technology has totally changed how people of different ages communicate. Take the baby boomers, the generation who grew up before the internet or personal computers existed. This generation does use social media to see what family and friends are doing and post pictures, but they normally prefer face-to-face communication and phone calls to messaging. Next, there was Generation X. There was no internet when they were at school, but they grew up with much more technology than boomers. PCs, email, and mobile phones all arrived while they were young adults. Generation Xers like to keep their work and social communication separate. After that came Generation Y, often called Millennials. Millennials grew up with live information 24/7. By the time they were young adults, they were using instant messaging, social media, and smartphones. Millennials expect fast and constant communication. In fact, 75% of them don't answer phone calls because they take too long. Generation Z is the latest generation of young people. They have never known a time without the internet and smartphones. They spend more time on social media than any other generation and have no problem using it at work. Like millennials, Generation Zs prefer instant messaging to voice calls. So, what kinds of problems are these differences between generations causing? At work, boomers often think that millennials use texts to communicate too much, but millennials think Xers and boomers waste too much time on face-to-face meetings. Outside work, the differences are just as obvious. Families are reporting that grandparents and grandchildren are not as close as they once were. Kids prefer messaging and social media, while older generations want to talk. And many parents say their children often don't say hello because they are busy on their phones. It's easy to feel angry or upset with the way someone is communicating. But if you do, try to remember that different generations have grown up with different technologies. The differences between these generations aren't going to go away, but we can try to understand them and each other.